Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for the originals, Season 1, Episode 15, Le Grand Guignol. And oh my god, guys, this episode was perfect. It was amazing. There was so much great stuff in it, especially towards that ending. There's something huge that happened. Two big things that happened at the end of this episode. And I really love that about this episode. It was such a great episode. And one of the things I really liked was that the first half of this episode primarily focused on flashbacks, because we've been hearing a lot about Mikeal, their father, and we needed to see more of what he was like. Now, unfortunately, this character can never come back because he's dead, unless they kill, unless they kill Bonnie on the Vampire Diaries. This character can't come back, which I doubt they would do, because Bonnie, they did it once, and I don't think they're going to do it again. So, a jazz band plays in the speakeasy back in the day. Klaus makes small talk with Elijah and a woman that's the werewolf queen at the time. They toast their success. Elijah tells Klaus his vision to unite New Orleans was great. And modern time, we see Elijah holding Klaus's bleeding body. Elijah meets with Cammy and tells her that Kieran's curse is getting worse. He tells her, Cammy tells him that Kieran's curse is getting worse. He tells her Klaus has the cursed dagger in his body, and that Haley is missing. He wants her help. He says she's the only person he thinks Klaus wouldn't kill on sight. And Elijah plunges his hand into his brother's chest, digs out the bone dagger, while Cammy watches, horrified. And then Elijah tells her that Klaus will be weak while he recovers, and he needs her to watch over him, feed him from her wrist. He instructs her to tell Klaus not to kill Rebekah. And Elijah whispers to his brother that he doesn't want him in pain, but has to stop him from hurting Rebekah. He says he has to go find Sabine and put a stop to her plotting. Klaus whispers to his brother that he'll make him pay for it, and Haley and the wolves have Sabine/Celeste tied up, and they're not happy, because Haley says she knows she can't kill her, or she'll just body jump, but they're prepared to make her hurt. Celeste asks what they want, and she explains she wants the curse she put on the wolves when she was inhabiting Bryn Devrux's body. That's the little subplot, which I'll get to a little later. So I kind of like the way this episode was done. We kind of get to see Klaus tell Cammy all these memories he has of his father. And Cammy tells Klaus she never thought she'd be feeding a vampire and offers her wrist. He digs in, and she tells him to slow down. She asks how he can hate his sister, and he says she ripped his heart out. And in this flashback, we basically see how that all happened. Because we see Elijah and Klaus watching Marcel and Rebekah, and Klaus tells him he knows they're together, even though they're pretending not to be. And at the bar, Klaus publicly calls out two people he says have been seeing around behind his back. And he toasts Rebekah and Marcel, wishes them joy. Sorry. Wishes them joy. But Rebekah knows better. So Klaus tells her that he has thwarted her love to protect her, and he's done. He says they can stay in New Orleans, and she can meet with Marcel. He kisses her and tells her to be happy. You can clearly see that he actually, there was a point when he did care about the relationship. Like, he did. We see later on, though, that something happens that causes him to not be so happy. Because now Klaus tells Cammy that he let his guard down, and that Rebekah and Marcel have already betrayed him by bringing their father Mikeal to town. She tells him he shouldn't be consumed by revenge he won't achieve since his sister and Marcel are long gone. Klaus says he's not sure they are, and back in the day, Rebekah tells Marcel she doesn't think the spell to bring Marcel's worked, and she's glad that since Klaus gave him their blessing. She heads off to a speaking engagement, Mikeal in the speakeasy, and watches his daughter leave. Now Rebekah tells Marcel that it doesn't matter where they go, he'll find him, and Marcel wants to use Davina to cast a cloaking spell. He wants to resurrect her, and I was very happy that he said that. Because I pretty much thought this was going to be the resurrection episode of Davina. And he insists it's the only way, and U-turns back to New Orleans, and at the same time, Klaus describes this all to Cammy, saying it's their only option. Since they need a witch, he'll be ready for them. So, Monique is lying on the floor chanting when Elijah finds her, says he needs to find Sabine because she's already taken something of his, and he offers her a page from his mother's Grimoire that explains her how her power can flow back into the earth for them to reclaim unless she lies. Monique is intrigued. Rebekah and Marcel talk to Thierry, ask for his help to kill the witches. He says those are tough odds to go against. Marcel says he's been up against the worst of them all. Flashback to New Orleans past, and Mikeal chats with Marcel, tells him he has a beautiful girl that reminds him of his late wife, and Marcel pleads with him not to hurt Rebekah. Mikeal agrees as long as he leads him to his sons. So Klaus tries to get up. Cammy tells him he's too weak. He tells her he's hungry. They banter. He tells her many women find him charming. And we see Elijah finds Klaus in bed with the werewolf queen. Cammy talks operas. He says that he likes the one about the family massacre on wedding day, and that he appreciates the irony. So then Sabine makes a potion. She says she will turn the wolves back on the next full moon. She tells him to stay out of her, but then he moves at vampire speed, snatches Sabine, speeds off with her when while Haley, Eve, and the witch and the watches watch open mouth. So then Elijah slams Sabine against a tree, asks if she's tricking the Wolf Clan. Basically, at this point, Sabine wants to get rid of Celeste out of her body. That's what she wants to do. She wants to be Sabine again, and she wants Celeste out. Haley will also leave him. Sabine says either way, she gets revenge when Haley ditched him. And Thierry meets with two of the powerful witches and tells them he can give them Rebekah and Marcel. He says he wants their life and tries to attack. Rebekah's ready to give up, but Marcel wants to press on with their plot. So Klaus pours whiskey and tells Cammy that he knows Elijah loves him, but tells her that Mikeal enlisted Elijah to kill him. And Elijah, he tells Elijah to help him, but Elijah refuses, and you simply erase them. So Cammy tells Klaus she knows he can't be killed, but he tells her that that's not true, and that it takes a white oak stake to do it. So we basically found out there is a way to kill an original. Elijah breaks through the stake. Mikeal injures and debilates Elijah for defying him. He breaks the lamp and pulls out a white oak stake he had been hidden there, and he says it cannot be destroyed, and then speeds out of the room. So Cammy chases Klaus and finds him feeding on someone, and this scene was extremely powerful. At this point, Klaus is ready to kill Rebekah. He's ready to do it. And Cammy tells him she could have stabbed him with the bone dagger because she saw good in him. She tells him she lost a sibling and knows how horrible it is. She tells him if he chases down Rebekah, then he's no better than his father. He tells him that Mikeal was the monster that monsters are afraid of. And, I mean, this Mikeal character really was terrifying. This is why, I wish they could bring him back, because he really is a great villain. He'd be a great villain. I'm hoping one day, someone will have him where he does come back. But Elijah and Sabine, they come back to the wolf camp, gives her a jar of the cure, says he believes it'll work, she hugs Elijah, Sabine watches bothered, Elijah brushes Haley's hair, kisses her forehead, tells her the wolves are lucky to have her, she smiles and walks away with the wolves. So Sabine tells Elijah it was touching, she says she can't believe his self-control, and he calls her cruel. Since reminds him of their game, telling him he just lost the girl he didn't make a move on because of his family, and now his family is in ruins. He tells her Rebekah is long gone and safe. She tells him that Rebekah and Marcel are in town trying to raise Davina, and Klaus is on to them. Elijah snaps, gets all vampire, and bites her. So Elijah takes Cammy into the quarter, asks if she knows about the night the opera house burned, because that's when her father was at his worst. Flashback to the opera with Klaus telling Rebekah it's her first big public dance, and basically Mikeal is just threatening Klaus to the point where he's basically saying that he's just late, but he scares her. He goes to check to the lobby, goes, and Mikeal comes into the box, puts the white oak stake against his back, tells him if he moves he'll kill him, calls Mikeal father, tells him he shouldn't cling to that, because we find out that Mikeal's not actually their father. He's like he's actually their biological, their stepfather. He's not actually their father. I thought that was an interesting little thing. Klaus tries to flee, but Mikeal holds him back, says they need to chat before he shakes off his immortal coil, and Klaus tells him he can die knowing his hatred of Mikeal is just, and with pride, what he's achieved in New Orleans. He tells Mikeal to get it on with it, tells Klaus that New Orleans is a great achievement, and after he kills, is a great achievement, that after he kills him, he's gonna kill everyone. And Mikeal tells him that he will make it like he never existed. The opera begins. Mikeal says he made some alterations for his benefit, and the curtain opens, and we see Marcel and the werewolf queen string up on stage, and the audience is compelled to think that they are watching a comedy. So Rebekah and Elijah help Klaus fight back against her father. This scene is just terrifying right here. This was amazingly done. Klaus thought Marcel burned with the opera house, says that at night his father took his last shred of humanity. Klaus tells Cammy that he won't torment Marcel and Rebekah, but will simply kill all of them quickly. He speeds off while she asks him to wait. And so now again, he is determined to kill Marcel and Rebekah. And then we get probably the biggest scene of the night, because Elijah has Sabine tied up in a crypt, and she says she would be happy to come there with him, tells him she's not scared of him, and says she can body jump easily. Sabine tells Elijah it's a lunar spell, and Rebekah realizes she is too trapped, tells him to run and get Davina to safety. Sabine tells him she's done with that body, stabs herself in the neck, and she collapses in a heap. Monique walks up, tells him he was right. Monique walks up, tells him he was right. Monique walks, and he turns to look at what she's pointing at, goes to the crypt. She was gesturing to you, and finds Celeste walking in a crypt. And Elijah's there, tells her it was a test. Monique came up with him, and she begs for mercy. And he stabs her, killing her once and for all. So now, Celeste is dead. The big villain is dead. My new question is, who's going to be the big villain now? You know, because now we have Celeste dead. So, what exactly is going to happen? We don't really know. So then we get probably my favorite moment of the episode is when Marcel brings Davina's body back to the church, wakes up in a panic, tells her she's safe, and that he'll protect her. Yes, Davina is finally back. I knew she'd eventually be back, but I didn't think it'd be this soon. I'm so happy she's back, though, because she really needs to be back. Definitely, though, I love her character. Still my favorite character. My question is, now that she has been dead, is she going to be more darker, more evil, just different than she was when they last saw her? Is she going to be that way? I think that'd be awesome if she was that way. I think that really would be great. I really would love to see that happen. Klaus comes to the cemetery, though, screaming for his sister, and this is just amazing to watch. The last scene, it's amazing. He tells her that her next breath will be her last, and then we see Mikeal back in the day, screaming for his children to come out and finish it. This is why Klaus hates Rebekah. We find out the reason why here. Because Klaus carries Rebekah, Elijah's with him. Klaus offers Rebekah his blood. She comes to calling Marcel's name. Elijah tells her he's gone, and then tells Rebekah and Klaus to go, and that he'll hold Mikeal off. He says they can't kill him, but that they can hold him so they can get away. Rebekah tries to tell Klaus that it's her fault, but he insists it's his. He says he thought they had a home there. Elijah pleads with them to go, and then commands them to go. Klaus grabs Rebekah, takes off. Rebekah finds Elijah in the cemetery, asks why she's there. She tells him there was no distance she could run to that Klaus wouldn't follow. And this is this is an amazing ending. Klaus screams at him to get away from Rebekah, says that she is his, and they both get all fangy and bloody-eyed. So, now it's all out war between Klaus versus Rebekah and Elijah. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. And, that was your episode, and I gotta say, amazing episode. I mean, the flashbacks, the killing of Celeste, the resurrection of Davina, just everything was amazing in this episode. My overall thoughts on this episode, this is by far the best episode of the season. I mean, we got to find out what Mikeal was like. We got to find out sort of why Klaus is so full of rage, because his father basically wanted to kill him all, and he blames Rebekah for bringing Mikeal to town, and when honestly it's not really her fault. She just thought that it would be a good thing. She didn't even know that he would try to kill all of them. But he blames Rebekah for doing it, and I think it's amazing that we did find that out. I think it's really amazing that he does that, he's so upset with her because he blames his sister for bringing Mikeal back, and remembering those memories just makes him so much more full of rage, and I just thought it was really amazing. So, a couple things I want to know. Monique is not dead. Is she going to try to get Davina to work with her to repel against Elijah? Is she going to try to do that? As we know, Davina is 100% loyal to Marcel. She will not try to do anything bad to Marcel unless she is, like, possessed by someone else, which I don't think is going to happen. But now that Davina's back, I do think that Monique is going to be the next big villain, and she's going to try to get Davina on her side. That's what I'm thinking. Honestly, though, I think that Davina's smarter than that. I think now that she's been killed, I think she's going to be a lot smarter now and try to not get herself killed again. I think that might happen. But overall, you know, the other thing that I really liked was the killing of Celeste. I didn't expect her to die in this episode. I thought it was great, though. So let me know what you guys saw this episode. What will happen with Klaus versus Rebekah and Elijah? Obviously, neither of them are going to die, but something bad's going to happen there. What's going to happen with Davina? Will Monique try to get Davina on her side now? We'll have to see what happens there. Is Celeste is gone for good? What about Sabine? Is Sabine going to be good now? We'll have to see. We're going to see Sabine by herself now. And is there going to be any way to ever bring Mikeal back? Because I'd love to see him come on the show. That's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed. My next review will be my review of Twisted. So see you then. Bye.